it's the Arrow save. Let's talk it through in detail, really, because it's a whole sort of moment of football, if you like. Because Andy Robertson, you think he struggled first half, if you're told, and this wasn't a great moment either. Doesn't cover himself in glory because he commits. And a lot of the talk about Robbo, we'll stick on that thread for a moment. A lot of talk about Andy Robertson has been, have his legs gone? Can he get up and down like he used to, etc., etc. But this is none of those things. No. This is just a rash, inexperienced decision made by the captain and one of our most experienced players. And it doesn't cost us ultimately because of Vítězslav Jaros. But his idea or thought process to rush and try and deal with that is really poor.
That's a guy who's low on confidence. He doesn't know what he normally do here. Whereas normally he'd stand him up and push him to the byline and make it harder for him. He makes a decision for him, so therefore he knows exactly what he's going to do. And he's coming for quite a bit of criticism lately, Robbo, and I think some of it is deserved. But that is a guy who's low on confidence. That for me. I think we need to take him out just for a couple of games. Me personally, I know a lot of people are saying bringing TSIMIKAS in, I think it's improved. Me personally, I think I'd be starting Joe Gomez.
Would you?
Yeah.
I'll get your
but I think he's keen on TSIMIKAS in his slot. He likes him.
Seems to be.
He does really like him. So, and I hate him, to be honest. I don't hate him. I just find him frustrating at times. Yeah. But he played well against the Leipzig, didn't he, last week? Got man of the match, and he's probably about 4th or 5th on my list. So I don't know if Slot's picking man of the match as well.
I must admit that shocked me. In fact, I was in the airport, one of my many hours in the airport, and somebody said, TSIMIKAS man of the match. I was like, sorry. You know what I mean? Never been Canate for me, by the way, or Keller. But anyway. I'll stick with you on Robbo for a minute, Luke, in that case. You're not obviously a TSIMIKAS fan. I think a lot of people aren't. Yeah. So therefore, that's an interesting dilemma then, because Robertson isn't at it. What I will say about Robertson, later on in this particular spell, he gets a great touch at the back post. Mm-hmm. But then when the camera panned to him, he looked absolutely done in at about the 70th minute mark. So maybe his fitness is still in question somewhat. But where are you at on the Robertson situation? Because he's not at it.
I think the Robertson situation is difficult, especially last couple of years, because we're kind of living in a little bit of nostalgia of him now. Has his legs gone? Has he still got it in him? Sort of thing. There's no doubt there's fire and passion still in him. It's just whether the ability's still there to unlock it. Now he's getting on, and obviously he's gave us so much service, so many good games, and it's hard to sort of let go in it. Absolutely, you know what I mean? This is the period in someone's career where Man City probably would have moved him on this summer. You know what I mean? They seem to do everything just at the right time. But it's hard to judge. We still got 3/4 of a season to go. So you never he might just come good again. Yeah. So
it wouldn't shock me at all.
It wouldn't shock me at all. If he just flourishes and just becomes great. James Milner's played what? How old's James Milner now? 38.
Yeah,
something like that. You know what I mean? Still kicking.
The question is do you take him out or do you let him play through it? That's the big decision now.
I think I take him out. I think TSIMIKAS is the starter now, and the manager's shown that, I reckon, last night with making Robbo captain, to be honest.
And he played the entire game as well.
Yeah.
That's another thing where if he didn't had any thoughts or ideas about Robbo starting the weekend, he'd have been off at the hour mark.
Yeah. But with TSIMIKAS going on to him, maybe he needs his clarity, because he's always been the number 2. And the idea was always going to come through and replace Robbo. That was always the idea. And everyone was like, he's not good enough, this fella. You know what I mean? But maybe he might get 2 or 3 games in the side now where he knows he's the starter, and maybe he needs that confidence, because there's no doubt about it. He has played well this season. He's not played tremendous. No. But it's going forwards, I reckon he's probably one of the best crossers of the ball in the side when he's starting. He's put a few balls in that box, got a few assists this season.
His dead ball delivery is better than most sides. Yeah. It's certainly better than Robertson. But I kind of moved awkwardly as you were talking there about TSIMIKAS, because my biggest criticism of TSIMIKAS has been every time he has had an opportunity to have a run in the side, he's never nailed down the play. It's almost as if he's felt at home with being the understudy and the backup to Andy Robbo, because he never sort of break through that glass ceiling. He plays to a level of a 6.5, 7 out of 10. But if you want to keep someone like a prime Robbo at the team, you've got to be 8, 9s every week. And he's never, whether he just hasn't got it in or not is a different question altogether. And for what it's worth, I don't think TSIMIKAS is the long-term solution to be a successor to Andy Robertson. I think we need to go into market if we need that player, which I think we might do. But this again feels like another opportunity for TSIMIKAS to do exactly what we're talking about here. It might only be a short-term, medium-term thing. If TSIMIKAS plays well now for until the international break, let's call it, then he might be our left back this year. but I still don't think he's our left back next year, if that's fair. You know
I think you're right. It's just who we're going to buy. You know what I mean? I'm never confident with us in the market.
Forgetting about my man Joe.
Who?
Still, I think Joe could
Yeah,
do a job
that's
there.
actually, I saw it, and then we've spent a lot of time on the left back thing. Like, this could be the flip on it. But you said Joe Gomez a minute ago, didn't you?
Yeah, because I really like Joe Gomez last night.
Same, but
Play left back.
Pardon the pun, left field pick.
Yeah. I still think Joe can do it. He impressed me when he played at left back. I think he changed his game. And I just think he's better there than TSIMIKAS. That's my opinion. I think he's a better left back than Costas.
Does the balance suffer as a consequence of that? Because we're not doing quite so much. Andy Robertson, to be fair, there was one moment actually last night we played like that right-footed ball into midfield and got it all wrong, and Brighton attacked as a consequence. But the inverted side of Joe Gomez, he doesn't offer the natural width, is what I'm trying to say, as a normal left back, and we probably don't need him to invert quite as much. So I don't know.
He can't. It's not his natural game, but when he's asked to do it, he can do it.
Yeah, I think we suffer going forward with Joe Gomez. But
I don't.
Because you can telegraph what he's going to do.
Yeah,
he's
always going to go inside.
He can use his left foot, but as a defender, unless someone's going around him all the time, whether it be a Diaz or the extra midfielder, whoever, it becomes very one-dimensional, I feel like, in attacking sense.
I don't think Liverpool asks as much for the fullbacks going forward and getting advanced in. So that's where I think he asks more of them defensively, and I think that's why I think Trent has improved defensively.
We've seen that massively.
Because that is what Arne Slot. I think Slot has been focusing on his defence.
Yeah.
So I think Joe Gomez could definitely do that job.
Just a caveat argument to that is, but does Joe Gomez want to play left back?
I think he just wants to play.
I know he just wants to play, but I think he wants to play centre half. I think if he wants to further his career,
I think in an ideal world, he would be doing. But I think at this juncture now, he's played an amount of minutes this year, which isn't many. You know what I mean? Like, probably not even 200 minutes so far this season. I think he played wherever.
He just kills getting the team, doesn't he? Minute. But I'm thinking long-term plan for him. If he was to be, because obviously back to the argument was Robertson who's going to replace him.
Oh, it's not Joe Gomez.
We gotta have to buy someone out.
Yeah, well, I think
I'm not confident we will.
No, ultimately no. But what I will tell you is, like, Liverpool own about 5 left backs, most of them out on loan at the minute. Like, in terms of the youngsters, so who knows? One of them could be being blooded to be that long-term success. So it might be a bit more TSIMIKAS, might be a bit more Robertson. There's obviously Aït-Nouri at Wolves. There's Kirkes at Bournemouth, who I really like as well. There's a lad at Girona who we're going to get a closer look at in the not too distant future as well. So there are options out there, and none of them will cost the earth. Aït-Nouri is probably the most expensive of them, I'd say, but I don't think you're talking upwards of 50 really for him. I wouldn't have said. So who knows? And listen, we're all writing off, but we're doing the obituaries for Andy Robertson's career. Aren't we, really? I think that might be premature, personally, for what it's worth. I just think he's clearly, played for Scotland over the summer. What that took out of him physically, emotionally and psychologically and all that is a different question. He has had his injury problems start creeping in more regularly, which could be a conversation point as well around Robbo. But with his experience, with his quality, I wouldn't be shocked if he had a bit of an Indian summer of a career and season. Really. New year, we're talking about completely rejuvenated, brilliant again, Andy Robbo. The only problem is even if we do take him out the firing line right now, he's probably going to play 180 minutes for Scotland in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, he will,
So straight away, you know what I mean? So it's difficult. It really is difficult. But I think it's an interesting conversation. Joe Gomez is definitely a factor in it all. And Costas TSIMIKAS is probably the man with the shirt right now. I think that was evidenced by the minutes last night.